So, I'm once again hit with a multiple comic release, with issue 77 and this DC Sonic crossover, meaning I'm gonna be writing multiple reviews and editing 2 videos back to back for y'all. I'm really back here cooking, so do your boy a solid and hit the like button and comment down below for the algorithm. Let YouTube know you actually like these videos so it shows them to you in your feed. Anyway, without further ado, let's take a look at issue number 77. And a very special thanks to these patrons. Picking up after the Sonic and Chaotix meetup to discuss all the lingering mysteries of Clutch's disappearance and the continued running of Clean Sweep Inc., they all arrive at the White Park Chateau, which you may remember from issue 33. Vector points out that it would be weird for Clutch to come back there, his original hideout and headquarters after his huge explosive defeat in issue 75. But Charmy is quick to interrupt and do his usual Charmy-isms. What's kind of funny is that I noticed Vector almost seems to have father-like qualities to the overactive Hyper B, keeping him in check or just watching out for him in general. Or maybe an older brother. I personally see Vector as a makeshift father of his hyper son and indifferent middle child Espio. The trio do some investigating outside when Charmy spots someone spying on them through the window in the chateau, and much like a well-oiled machine, the group gives chase. So this is a small detail I kind of enjoy about this group. Each of them seems to cover a weakness that the other might have. Vector is a lot more perceptive than most might think he is, and is usually able to work off of a small hunch. Espio is a ninja capable of both stealth and gathering information, while Charmy is able to spot the odd or obvious details that the others might miss. The three are quite capable detectives despite their rather unorthodox way of solving cases. Once inside, Sonic checks everywhere but the kitchen in lightning speed, stating that the three of them should check it out for snacks. That is until 2 familiar voices call to them from the kitchen, and wouldn't you know it, those damn skunk boys have decided to take up refuge in the chateau, sporting rather flashy attire this time and dropping some bars. Although this time Espio is here to say, "Move this man!" Yeah, that's rich coming from him of all people. I'm never forgetting his poetry from the Murder of Sonic game. Though things seem to be different this time, as Rough and Tumble don't seem all too interested in getting their hands dirty, instead opting to have some old egg pawns fight for them, though they're quickly disposed of by our heroes, except Charmy, he's doing his own thing, playing with board games while everyone else is fighting. Of course, once all the egg pawns are defeated, our 2 scumbag skunk brothers decide to step in themselves, claiming to be coming out of retirement. Okay, so as much as I like the drip they got going on, I gotta ask, why are these 2 doing this? Like, I thought we had reformed these guys, or at least we're starting to put them on the slightly less antagonistic route. According to this dialogue, it's only been 1 week. Not to mention they had stared Death down herself when Vanilla, the Sonic equivalent of a mama bear, was about to end them. You'd think these guys would give up the whole thing after an encounter like that, but nope. The 2 try putting up a fight at first, though they're quick to back down when they realize that getting into it is damaging their new fits. With the fight abruptly ending, they all tell Sonic that they're legitimate businessmen now, even going so far to tell them that Clutch now works for them. And as if to confirm those statements, Clutch appears and greets them with a rather cold stare. Now hold up, I can hear y'all saying, didn't he get got in issue 75 by Eggman? And I'm not gonna lie, while I was reading this, I was thinking the exact same thing. What's weirder is that Clutch seems to be playing it up as a servant to the duo of well-dressed skunks. Like, bro, what is going on? Clutch asks permission to host Sonic and company to keep them out of further trouble, and once they're alone, Clutch kinda lays it all out there, stating that they defeated him, humiliated him, publicly disgraced him, and ruined his entire company. At this point, Clutch has nothing and he tells them as much. Even after his desperation attack to send the self-destructing shuttle to Restoration HQ, Sonic and the others still managed to save everyone. So even that plan failed. Clutch is kind of making a point. He's kind of at rock bottom for a villain. But that still doesn't explain what happened with him and Eggman. And just like someone in the comments of my last video said, Clutch, being a possum, played dead and managed to give Eggman the slip when he wasn't looking. Hey, good job to you, commentator. You called it. But yeah, looking at Clutch in these panels, it's obvious the dude has had it real rough. I know it's probably Chaos Cola he's drinking there, but our boy looks like a man who's lost everything and has turned to drinking. He shows them a deed giving ownership of the chateau to Rough and Tumble as well as his employment to them. Mainly because they had come back to whoop his ass after his treatment of them in the previous issues. But despite everything he's told them about what's going on, Sonic and the Chaotix aren't fully buying it. So Clutch hands them a piece of paper with an address on it, claiming it will take them to an old clean sweep facility where they can check to see if his claims are true. With a lot of doubt still lingering, our heroes reluctantly agree to go and check it out, leaving Rough and Tumble to resume their business, which is... well, they don't even know. And just like that, our boys are off to go investigate the facility. But once they've left the chateau, Clutch starts to act strange and opens a secret latch to descend into a secret laboratory under the chateau where he begins speaking to Eggman through a bunch of monitors. Our skeezy possum reports to him and tells them that he sent Sonic and company to one of their facilities, allowing Eggman to prepare in advance for their arrival. I knew it was too good to be true. I knew this man wasn't truly defeated. Though something eerie happens when Eggman inquires further. Clutch reveals that he's been planted with a bug, like a literal bug. Some sort of Eggman spider that's implanted into his skull that forces him to bend to Eggman's will. Now that is actually horrific to think about. Clutch seems to still have his autonomy, but he is in service to Eggman until the good doctor decides he doesn't need him anymore. Imagine being in this situation. Eggman probably put a failsafe on that spider too. Who knows what'll happen if it's tampered with? Probably an explosive or something equally fatal. Yeah, this is the Eggman I'm starting to remember from the Archie comics. A straight up villain with some elements of horror involved in his methods. It's easy to forget the jovial doctor is a genuine threat to those that aren't as able and powerful as Sonic and Co. To a normal civilian, this dude is your worst nightmare, because there's no telling what he might do to you. There are some things way worse than death. Like eternal servitude with no chance of freedom and a constant threat on your life. Not to mention he now has to be a personal servant to two idiots. I hate to say this, but I almost feel sorry for Clutch. But then I remember what he tried to do in issue 75 and I'm like, welp, couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. But maybe I'm being too harsh. What do y'all think? Did he get what he deserves, or do you think he doesn't deserve this fate? And for that matter, how are we feeling about this new mind and body control spider tech? It's not quite the roboticizer, but it's a good compromise that seems to give us the best of both worlds. Older Archie themes combined with newer IDW ideas. I think I kinda like it, though the roboticizer really did have the edge here. It was part body horror, among other things, and just terrifying to think about. I give this comic an 8.3 out of 10. If you want to help me, Wolfie, out, and get YouTube to show you more of these, you know what you gotta do. The story continues in issue 78, so click here to see what happens next. Last video's best comment.